When I was growing up, my dad was keen on having the best tech out there. This was the case in 2007 when we upgraded from our old, broken down gateway tablet laptop PC thing to a not so shiny but new ThinkPad T61 with a weird Sprint 3G Service Express card thing for our internet. This quickly turned into our family's main household PC, since our only other option was our home office's compact office PC that barely met the minimum specs for Windows XP and the AOL dial-up service that we were paying for at the time. I would consider that ThinkPad my first real computer in which I was able to experience something greater than 128 megs of RAM and this crazy thing called the World Wide Web. The time that I spent on this laptop were very formative years of my life, considering they were my middle school years. Also, I gotta say, Windows XP didn't have very effective parental controls. Sorry, Mom. During this time, I was having a rough time in school. People who I thought were my friends talked shit about me behind my back and would hardly talk to me. When they did, they were completely two-faced. As a sheltered middle schooler, I didn't understand why people didn't want to talk to me, and my grades really suffered because of that. When I got home from school, I escaped all this with video games. Because when I was 6, my parents bought me an all-new PlayStation 2. And my brother, he gave me his old Nintendo 64. And these were some of the best gifts that I've ever gotten. It helped me through so much to this very day with all of its incredible stories, adventures, races, and, of course, Battlefront 2. My god, I loved Battlefront and Battlefront 2. And really, that's where my venture into Halo stems from. Unfortunately, one rainy day, my PlayStation 2 broke. I was devastated, and it would just no longer read my games. My dad did his best to fix it, but he was no electronics technician of any kind. He was the guy that builds in-ground swimming pools for a living. And my Nintendo 64 just really wasn't cutting it for the newest and greatest games. But don't worry, he fixed it a month or so later. Though, looking back on it now, I'm grateful it stopped working because it forced me to branch out to other platforms that I would have otherwise completely dismissed. Now, at the time, I had one really good friend who genuinely did care about me. And still does to this very day. But most importantly, he showed me the way of the PC Master Race. Or as some might call it, PC gaming. When we would hang out, he would let me play this crazy game on his computer called Garry's Mod. Now, I could write an entire video about the impact Garry's Mod and its community had on my late middle school years and all throughout high school. But for now, let's just stick to Halo. Since I couldn't afford the minimum 3 separate games that I needed to play Garry's Mod, I searched for other alternatives. After searching high and low through 240p YouTube videos, one after another, I eventually came across Halo. Halo Custom Edition, get ready for this, is a free to Halo PC owner multiplayer only version of the Combat Evolved for... Halo Custom Edition is a free to Halo PC owners multiplayer only version of Halo Combat Evolved for PC that supports user created content. Holy shit. As much of a mouthful as that was, my god, what a great game. This was nonetheless my first online multiplayer game that I ever, let's go with, owned. If you're in the slightest way interested in Halo Custom Edition, check out halomaps.org. As suggested in the URL, it's a hub for all the mods and maps that you could ever need for not only Halo Custom Edition, but Halo 2 for Windows Vista, and even custom maps for Portal. And as long as you have a product key for Halo Combat Evolved, they provide a download for Halo Custom Edition for anybody. And HaloMaps.org was my portal into a slew of user-created content during my time with Halo Custom Edition. While I didn't have good enough of a connection to play Halo Combat Evolved or Halo Custom Edition online with less than 200 ping, considering I was on a 3G connection, I usually spent my time listening to gorillas on YouTube and downloading single-player mods and multiplayer maps to mess around in. Remember my friend from earlier? Yeah, I would go over to his house and we would switch off between Halo and Gary's Mod. He would show me his new maps and add-ons from garysmod.org, and I would show him my new mods and maps from halomaps.org. I was always looking forward to rushing home from school and checking out the latest and greatest maps from users and the custom mapping team. And if you're interested in some of the work that's going on there, I'd say join the custom mapping team's SPV3 Discord server. They're still super active and improving their redux of the original Halo campaign, and even making custom stories, UI files, and even firefight levels. It's amazing what they're able to achieve within the constraints of the original Halo engine. And yesterday, March 5th, 2020, I streamed Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary for PC with one of my current best friends over at twitch.tv/gotgamesltd. And playing Halo Master Chief Collection on PC just overwhelmed me with the sense of joy and nostalgia. We played for hours and loved every moment of it. While it doesn't have any of the custom maps or mods yet, like flying a longsword on Huge Ass or driving a troop hog through Extinction, playing Capture the Flag on Death Island triggered something in me that really did make me feel like a 12-year-old again. And while I wasn't a huge fan of Halo 4 or 5 Guardians, I have to thank 343 for not only fixing the Halo Master Chief Collection from the broken mess it was when it launched on the Xbox One, but also bringing these classic games back to the forefront of gaming and even game preservation. And I also have to thank Microsoft Game Studios for bringing the game to an audience that you once forgot, Windows gamers, and at that, PC gamers in general. P.S. Microsoft will only forgive you for what you did with Games for Windows Live if you let us have the games back that we activated on there. Like, I've still got a box copy of Halo 2 for Windows Vista and Fallout New Vegas that make pretty crappy paperweights. And you can't activate the games more than once unless you call your phone system